Okay, Jess, you're doing it? Go, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Well, see you
See you at
at
Loud Women Fest! The coordination. People said it's punk. It's just really written from a very like a place of like trying to figure out what's been going on and like trying to understand like my own battles, and like a lot of it was from like feminist awakening and just like learning like, why does this keep happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And then finally finding the words for that. So a lot of it is that angle. I guess it comes off very like punk because it's loud and aggressive, but I mean it's just how we feel, you know what I mean? Like, and a lot of this, it feels like, I don't know, I feel like when you're younger, you're kind of taught to like not be angry and like just be cool about it. And it's just like, no, actually, I am very, very angry. And like that's okay. And like it was kind of a vessel for that. So yeah. So I think, yeah, it's comes off punk, and like there's moments where we're kind of dipping into more of a grunge feel as well. Especially with like the second record that we're working on right now. So like, I don't know. I think it's just, yeah. I always just feel like music just comes from an honest place, and like you just got to be real. You can't like write something fake and assume it's gonna feel like, I don't know. It just doesn't come off right. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I would agree. I've been in the band since 2019. And yeah, I feel like it's just an outlet for like just all the feelings that's been like built up like over the years. And yeah, so I would say it leans more to punk, but I think that's just because it's loud and aggressive. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, we love loud and aggressive. And I suppose if it was men doing it, it'd just be called assertive or commanding or something then, right? So
Yeah.
I'm interested to know if there's any loud women bands that you're inspired by or that you're really interested in seeing.
I was just like peeping the lineup, and I thought it was really interesting. Like the descriptors that some of the bands used were awesome. I don't know if they wrote that themselves or if y'all came up. I mean, I think it was I Doris that was like kitchen, like mom punk, gloom punk. Where is it? London's OG mummycore kitchen punks. I just think mummycore is so cute. Like the idea of mummycore is adorable. I hope they have T-shirts that say mummycore. And then I'm also really interested in Yako, an Indonesian rapper. That sounds really interesting. But we know some of the bands. Desert Sharks is a band from New York, and we're actually playing a gig with them in July. So we're gonna be seeing them up in Brooklyn. Yeah, so it's kind of, and they came down here, maybe like a couple,
Yeah.
yeah, they came to the Pinhook in Durham, and we played with them there. So it's just kind of cool to like be like, oh my gosh, we're gonna see you in London. That's so cool. So yeah, it's just, I think the lineup looks cool. I like how diverse it is, and yeah, it's just really cool to find spaces like this in other places, because like we've found people like this, in the United States, like different, like where we are, but we've done a lot of touring around like the U.S. and like we find these people who are like also just like, just all about taking up space and like, bringing, music back to more feminine, non-binary musicians and like all that. So like, it's just interesting to see that happening all across the world, and to like be, because I just feel like it's interesting. We're going to be having the same conversations we have everywhere, right? And that's what's so amazing about it all. Like, yeah, that's what I'm very much excited about, for sure.
Jess?
Yeah. Same, except I was looking at the lineup, and then I checked out I think she's a solo artist, I'm not sure, but Bridget. I didn't see a band, but that was rocking. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, that should be cool.
Yeah. I mean, all of the bands you've met and solo artists they're just going to be mint, aren't they? The mummycore thing, I think you'll really love mummycore. If you like the sound of the name, you're really gonna love the artists.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great.
What would your favorite songs be, and why? Favorite songs that you've done, by the way.
Jess, you want to go first?
Okay. All right.
Curious.
Well, a couple of comes to mind. One of my favorites is "Don't Touch People." I just think it's a good, powerful message, and it just sounds like it's. I feel like it's saucy, as I would say. There's parts in it that are really good, or not. They're really good, but like I love the way that they sound. I think it's just a powerful message. Like, no matter what you're thinking in your head, you have no right to like to touch or be in someone else's space. At least that's how I interpret it as. So that's one of my favorites. And then I like we have a song called Your Asian Fetish is Racist. And there's like one particular line that's like, you put me in a box and you expect me to like it. You put me in a box and you expect me not to fight it. And then there's like a powerful scream that comes after that. And that's like my favorite part. It's like all the time I'm telling myself, you know, I want to be myself. So, and I feel like there's a fight against it, you know, sometimes people trying to control you. And so that's one of my favorites lines and songs. So yeah, I think those would be my two. Uh-huh.
Erika, what do you think?
That's awesome. I mean, I like them all, you know what I mean? Like they're like all like each one, like I very much take the approach of like, you know, each song like kind of standalone. I want it to be cool and like awesome and like well-rounded and just like, you know, there's a couple that are just like fun to play live, of course. Like I think Never Speak of Marriage as an Achievement is really fun to play live, just because it's just like hits the ground running and you're just like screaming and like I think over the years, there's a lot more like ad libs that have been coming through. I went through like a huge like dolphin phase for a while where everything was like that, and it was like hilarious to me. But like, I think now it's just more of like I don't know, the noise. Like, I don't know. I think there's like certain songs that do evolve live, and like those ones are really fun for me. If they crack me up while I'm playing them, they're awesome. Like in a great way. Like I love that stuff, you know. So it's hard for me to pin down which one I love the best. Like,
Which one do you think will go down the best in the UK when you play London?
I don't know.
No idea.
I mean, I think a lot of people react to your boyfriend's really bringing you down, just because it's such a relatable experience. I feel like, but like we played all across the nights in like different rooms. They all like react the same way, and it's just like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you know, like that one guy, like your friend's boyfriend, like you can't go anywhere because like whenever you do, like he gets jealous, and then we all have to leave, like you know what I mean? Because he goes like, you know, right? You're nodding your head, like that's so silly. That's so silly. And it's like I'd never heard that be yelled before, and then like pointed it out. Now just everywhere we go, it's like yes, 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 and it's just like what is happening? So like I don't know. I think that one I'm pretty sure is an international experience.
Because he gets jealous and we have to leave. We can't go anywhere because he gets jealous and like we have to leave. We can't go anywhere because he gets jealous and we have to leave. We can't go anywhere because he gets jealous and we have to
I actually grew up in Japan, so I lived there until I was 18. I was born and raised there, so like I have like the perspective of that, and like it's interesting for me because like people always assume like a culture they're not from is actually like more sexist. You know what I mean? I felt like that was like really like what do you mean? Like no, like you know I had Americans come tell me like oh well Japanese men are like super sexist. I'm like so are American men. Like what is happening? You know? So I felt like that was like a type of racism it was to like that I saw, like, you know what I mean? It was just like, well, no, like, you like, look, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Look around you, like, you know what I mean? So it's just, so I do think that there's a lot that overlaps. And like, when I go back, I have these same conversations with my friends who still live there and stuff. And a lot of it comes up, you know? There's like different nuances, but like overall, yeah, like, it's like we're all fighting the same fight, like, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Definitely.
I mean, yeah, it's super important. Like, yeah, I think it's just, you know, like a lot of us grew up with not seeing ourselves represented, right, on stage and like not seeing us playing like certain types of music. Like, you know, I teach music as well. And like I still have it where like, you know, I'll have a young girl come up to me and think that, oh, well, I can never play that. You know, like, or I could never do that. And like, what do you mean never? You know what I mean? And it's just like the certain like, oh, well, there's a certain part of your brain where it's like, if you don't see it, you don't think you can do it. And then you grow up thinking, oh, like I shouldn't be here. And like, I experienced that like just playing gigs where it's like, people assume I can't play. People assume that we're not going to sound like we do. Like, you know what I mean? Like things like that all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, like, what do you mean? Like, but it's just, it's part of that. It's like breaking that a little bit, you know, and then pushing against that. Like, before like very easily go to like millions of shows where like there are no femme or non-binary musicians at all, and like no one ever blinks. It's like, is this a men's rights festival? No. Or is this like a normal day in life, right? And that's what's being broken right now in a beautiful way. And once that's broken, then everyone can just be artists, and then we can just have more art, right? But then it's just I want that like weight of like, oh, I don't deserve to be here, to just really be smashed right now. Like that's what I want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're in
I
that
already
fight.
think you're
We're in the
smashing.
resistance. Fighting against that, yeah.
So I'm interested to know what the biggest challenges you faced as independent rising musicians.
You want to go
I think
first,
it's
or?
getting the word out. I think that's the
God.
hardest. Like, that's the hardest part. It's like, you have something to say, but it's just a matter of like getting it to the people. Like, every chance we get, it's a good thing. So it's just, I think the hardest part is just expanding the reach. Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's hard because when you're independent, you're doing everything yourself, and it's just like it's too many hats. Like too many hats, man. Like too many. Like it's exhausting, Like you got your booking hand, then you gotta promote it, and then you gotta be like, oh, but now I gotta go do the thing, So I can't worry about like posting or like trying to promote it if I'm trying to go do the thing and like get into this very feral mindset, Like it's just like it feels like a different world. And like at one point I realized I was like, oh no, like there's a certain point where I gotta cut it off and then just go do like that, get like, I don't know, kind of like go back to like why the songs are being sung, and not be like, oh well, I need to do this, oh I need to make sure that people are coming, should I post right up to the thing and like be like, hey everybody come, like, and like that's so important obviously because it's like it's that reach, but then it's like part of you just wants to just like create as well, I mean, but like there's a bunch of other stuff that like over the years I just learned how to do, like I came from a recording background but then ended up mixing everything, and then like I taught myself how to screen print, like, you know what I mean? Taught myself how to tour, like I know how to drive a van, like, like all these things that was just like building on top of each other. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
All right, this is Hope. Say hi, Hope.
She's so cute.
Yep, this is my love.
Oh,
See, now
that's
that
beautiful.
that dog will fit on a plane. Just saying.
Yes, very small.
She can sell merch.
Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute.
Adorable. Come here. That's it. You're so smart. Shake. You don't.
Oh
my gosh. That's amazing. I'm so impressed.
yeah.
But yeah, that's Bovie. He came with the name Bovie. Yeah.
Bovie's
With a V. Yeah. It was Bovino, which is evidently Spanish for like cattle or cow. Yeah, but nicknamed Bovie. But we kept it, we got him from the Durham, I guess it's just the Humane Society, or what is it called? Durham SPCA. I don't even know what that stands for. It's where you get animals. That's where you
Yeah.
But instrument wise, I just have, that's my Strat. I just use a Strat, and I have some fancier pickups in it. Some DiMarzio that I put in. And then my head, I use the orange Tiny Terror with some souped up tubes in it. And then I don't have my bass amp in here, but I'm a big Mark bass fan. If you know that brand, it's delightful. And then my pedal board.
Wow, you've got the full setup ready. Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, this case isn't coming, but it's gonna be favorites only for London, but I usually take this apart just so it can be a little more light when moving around. But yeah, the pedal train is the standard, but this thing is heavy. But my favorites on here, I mean, the fuzz war is very important. This is a lot of the fuzzy, dirty tone that I get. And then I do have a big muff, but that's only for some other songs, because sometimes I like a different fuzz and I want to be able to access it quickly. And then I like my Pog, which is basically, it gives you octave So I use like a higher octave in some like moments, kind of like layer and give like a really kind of sound. Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah, I love it. Tone's like super, it was super important, and it was like a big learning curve, and like, you know, doing this as a two-piece is like a lot of ground to cover. And that's why it's like at one point I learned like, you know, I needed to find more low end and stuff like that. So that was just, yeah. So I started splitting my signal, and it's just from there, it's just really been more full. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure every guitarist goes through this, you know, like I feel like with music, there's different things that you learn, like along, you know, that you need to get, like that you have to get good at, you know. It's like there's writing songs, you know, there's singing and playing guitar at the same time. Then there's like getting your tone right, and then being able to get your tone right in every single room you play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Being able to hear yourself while you're on stage, and being able to ask for what you need. Super hard. So hard, right? Life hard. So like things like that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I use.
That's impressive. I tried to show you my dog, but she's sulking. Skylar,
Where?
pups, pups. Oi, Skylar,
Sally.
come on, come on. You can do it. Come on. Come here.
Oh.
No, Aussie, Australian Shepherd.
I think they're just border collies. I
There's a
think
border collie.
Welsh by origin. Are you Welsh?
Nice.
Smart dog.
Yeah, well, she is so smart that she's completely fallen out with me because she can sense that I'm leaving her. So she's just having a big old
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
If only we could take our dogs everywhere with us, eh?
Yeah.
I had one dog. My first dog. She was a van dog, and like with my my first band, we used to take her with us. Like it wasn't too hot, and she's just so chill. She was the kind of dog like who would just be there, and then someone would be like, "Oh my gosh, there's a dog here," because they wouldn't know because she's so quiet. But like I've slept in like a venue with her, like you know, like and stuff like that. It's just yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
cool. She'd go bonkers. The
You go
first
bonkers.
the first sound
Oh
of
yeah,
a drum or
not
something
during the
like that,
show.
she'd
Yeah.
be trying to join in, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we do have a new album that we're finishing up, and we're hopefully gonna have a single out by the time we get to London. So that is what we're hoping to do. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's just yeah, my biggest goal is to just keep making stuff because it's like it's so hard to make stuff. It's so hard to finish things, but like once you do it, you're just like, wow, I'm so glad I did that because it's like a snapshot of that time in your life, you know? And like I think my ultimate goal is just to like collect those snapshots, you know, and have like a body of work to be able to be like, wow. You know what I mean? Because there's a part of it where it's like, I don't know, in the moment it feels so heavy, and then like but having that exist outside of you is so beautiful. And like, yeah, I don't know what question that's answering, but it's super important to me. Like, yeah, to be able to see it outside my body. Yeah.
All
Sounds
right. It
good?
was so nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Donna.
Thank you.